Hi, my name's Nikki. I'm the Obsessive Bookseller, and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing Aurian by Maggie Furey. It's book one in a 4-book series. It's a classic fantasy written in 1994, and my favorite thing about it was its unconventionality. Publishing houses these days have a pretty solid idea of what kind of plot structure makes the most money, so they encourage that in a lot of the books that they produce. Because I've read so many books and been to so many writing seminars, it's really hard for me to turn off that analytical part of my brain that notices things like that in books. And so for me, this, which had practically no structure at all and kind of went whatever way it felt like, was a breath of fresh air. Now that said, there were a lot of things to be desired in this book. The characters were interesting, but they were really odd, like really overblown emotions. It kind of reminded me of a classic silent film where the emotions had to be overexpressed and overdone so to make sure that the audience knew what they were feeling, and real people don't act like that. So because of that, the characters were incredibly immature, and not only did they have extreme emotions, but they would flit from one extreme to the other at the drop of a hat with no real logic, and usually all within the same couple of paragraphs. It was very much like watching the rapid mood swings of a 5-year-old. It was incredibly unrealistic. And I mentioned that the plot meandered a lot. Oh my gosh, like, I wouldn't even say the inciting moment happened until about 70% into the book, where we figured out what the actual point of the story was going to be. And every time I thought the author was building up towards something like that, she would take it on another random tangent and we'd go with that for a while. And probably the most disappointing thing about this read for me is the misleading cover. There is a dragon in this book. It's near the very end, and it's on there for about 2 pages, and that's it. But even back then, the marketers knew that if you put a dragon on the cover, idiots like me will pick it up without even reading what the book's about. Yeah, that happened. And I could probably do a whole rant video on this. I hate it when covers give away major spoilers, and in this case, for the very end of the book. Like, come on. I lose interest pretty quickly if I know anything about what's going to happen. And when the thing on the cover doesn't even happen until the last, 20 pages of the book, oh my god. It's bad enough when the overview on the back does that, and that's why I don't read those very often, because I really don't want to know anything about what's coming up. Don't be fooled by the cover. This is not a dragon story. This is a weak mage story. Overall, I think I'm going to give this book a 3 out of 5 stars. I liked it. But, nah, you know what? It probably fits better in a 2.5. Which means it was better than just okay, but I'm not sure if I liked it. So 2.5 is where we're going to be on this one. I am not sure if I'm going to continue the series or not. This particular series is only available in print format. There's no ebook, and the print itself is freaking tiny. Like, it's 600 pages of the tiniest print I've ever read in a mass market. And luckily the other ones don't follow suit, but that's part of the reason why it took me 6 months to get through. I have an ongoing eye strain injury, and so I do my best to save my eyes for reading by the end of the day, but it doesn't always work out. And so I'm just not sure if a 2.5 star rating so far is worth more eye power in the future, but we shall see, because I am a completionist and I already own the other ones, so yeah. So now we get on to other books you might like. I've picked a few that I think you might like a little better than this one. First one is the Wayfarer Redemption series by Sarah Douglas. For similar writing style, only this one was a lot more robust, and similar character profiles. Medallion by Jennifer Fallon, for writing style, setting, and a comparable plot. only this one had more structure. First Truth by Dawn Cook, aka Kim Harrison. For an even better representation of mages, more dragons, and the fun factor. Love this series. The Last Stormlord by Glenda Lark. For magic and in some ways setting, near the end of the book they were in a desert setting and it reminded me a lot of this series. And Covenants by Lorna Freeman. Mine doesn't have a cover, so I'll throw it up on. For a classic fantasy feel with a meandering plot, but with a lot more grounded and interesting characters. It also has the mage aspect, the sense of adventure, the bad guys are comparable, but I enjoyed this one a lot more. Thank you so much for joining me on this review, and I hope to catch you next time. Thanks.